Alright, hello everyone. This is the 8th Newcomer tournament. Group C, round 4. We have Icewind, Zratchet, Kawaii, and Kordarus. I'm Trat, and joining me for the cast is Roy.
Hello. We have Power Colony again. Not again. We have a Power Colony. We have a lot of low prices on the board. Do you see any interesting founds? I think it's another friendly map too.
Yeah, this
not
map...
too bad.
I think the only thing you can really do here is go into power if you're gonna make a nice start. Because you can see what's difficult is there are no green prices, so there are no real good markets going. One thing you can do is produce a lot of steel, sell data down and buy the cheap glass so you can get upgrades that way. So I wouldn't mind seeing some steel producing factions. Let's see, what do we have? By the way, there are also nukes on the map, which is important when considering how to found. Okay, so one thing I would not recommend is to found Nomad, because there was no adjacent silicon on the entire map. There are a lot of highs, but they're spread out.
I think double high is okay because it's almost similar to one high and one low.
Yeah, it is, I agree. Except there are nukes, so if he gets off to a strong start, people can really punish him. But we'll see, he might be able to play for that. The second one, I like that, he has access to aluminum and water. So this is the best normal spot he could have gotten, I think. But I worry if it will be enough for him. Because one thing to point out, he won't have access to the cheap glass to upgrade with, he has to upgrade with electronics. With Kawaii first to HQ2, he just made steel and bought up aluminum. So let's see what his plan is to go ahead here. And Zratchet is in a wind turbine already. So he saw there was a power colony and he's making a tiny amount of power money. See how that works out. I would like to see at least one more wind turbine on HQ2.
I think that will work out great if not many people get into power next to HQ or soon. Because it's a power colony and it's consuming 1.2 power a second, and every other players are consuming 2.3 power combined.
Yeah. So what I would like to see actually is 3 turbines. Carbon is very cheap. If you place 3 in a line, they will make you a lot of power, and if you place a goon in the middle, it will be very safe to EMPs too. And the option for the expanses, I think, is to go into geothermal. I wouldn't mind seeing that pretty soon.
So I don't like this triple primary resources claim from Zratchet, because it's a lost opportunity to get into lucrative power market.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. You probably don't need carbon because it was so cheap. You can just buy the carbon you need to place the wind turbines. And this electronics factory will probably not even make a profit, unfortunately.
A shortage on steel makes people producing steel painful.
Yeah, so that would have made my plan very poor. Let's see, is anyone making any money at all?
Yeah, if they were producing, like if the farm started double, people could buy into the surplus and boost their upgrade speed, but there were not many money-making markets.
Yeah, unfortunately food didn't even start normal, it started at 30. So it's gonna take a while for food to become a good market. And right now we can see that really the only market that looks good here is power. And
power is...
Kordarus is into solar panels, which I like. And he's very close to making power money, so yeah, I quite like his position right now. See, a claim auction was won by Kawaii. Now this is very dangerous in a situation where power is the only high price. Because if you have 60,000 in debt, you're very far away from making power money. Let's see if we can make power in some other way. If we can make money in some other way. You can see the colony has only expanded into more power, so there is no natural pressure on any resource other than power. This I think this map is actually really hard to play right now. And people realize that power is a strong market, and we see some mutinies. I like that.
That the geotherm was not finished, so it's wasting some amount of time. But if they were worried about it being gooned, it might be a good choice.
Yeah. You should, however, there's a trick. When that happened, the goons cost 2,000, which is the starting price. So when a goon costs 2,000, the only people who can have a goon are scientists, which start with the free goon. But yeah, now 2 of them are bought, so they cost 4,500. So let's see who is gonna make some power money. I wouldn't have minded seeing even more solar panels from Kordarus instead of these reactors. And I hope this patent lab is for superconductor. It will be a very strong patent.
Yeah, it should have been superconductor.
Oh, it's water engine. Yeah, so superconductor will double the output of these. So they're currently making 330. That would be $660 a second if he got the superconductor, which is also a very cheap patent. Now, something interesting, we have a dust storm, which will halve the efficiency of the solar panels. So currently, if you're in wind turbines, you're in the happiest place, and Racket is finally making his second wind turbine. So unless these get hit with black market, he will be making power money on this dust storm.
Another reaction. And
Okay, Kordarus bid finally. A hacker array is very strong here because all of these prices are low. So if there's something you can produce that you think you can produce better than others and you short it, then you create a market for yourself. So even though currently power is really the only market, although food is getting there and reactors are okay, if you can like choose one of the other markets and short it up, then you have a nice place in this game. And Kordarus wins it for 12,000. Which unfortunately puts a dent in his power money currently, but I still don't mind it. And he's using the short fuel, which he's producing. And he's the only one who produces it right now, so that's a very good choice.
That's a good choice.
Yeah, okay, now we have the dust storm. Racket is making 1,000 a second from these 2 wind turbines. Or, well, I guess he also has to use power, so not quite making it. But they are very strong tiles, and people should pay attention to this and try to mutiny or AMP. You see a mutiny on the geotherm, which is making 2 power a second, but these are actually making 3 right now. So, wait, oh, it was him doing the mutiny, never mind. Yeah, he's gonna make a lot of power money, I really like that. And he is also in a patent lab, currently getting financial instruments.
One thing I would like to point out from Raquet is that they still have one claim left to use. Having a flexibility to change the tiles or get into new tiles when required is good, but I think losing the opportunity to produce more resources is much greater. It has much greater gravity.
Yeah. Racket is very unlucky right now because that's a second surplus on electronics in a row, which is one of the things he's making. We have the hack going through from Kordarus, but somebody paid attention. I'm not sure if they knew it was a hack, but they saw that these tiles were making a lot of money and they put an EMP here. So that's very strong. Because Kordarus was the richest player, he had a lot of HQ levels, and you shut down his most profitable buildings. So that's a very, very good EMP.
And still no one else is in the fuel market, so Kordarus can keep hacking fuel for now.
Yeah, that's very strong. And after the dust storm, food has become a pretty good market. So there are some options now, compared to the start of the game. And power is dying. So we can say the game is normalized, and our players are pretty even coming out of the starting phase. And a thinking machines auction, that's interesting. Because if you secure that, you can pretty safely go off-world. Or at least more safely than without it. And off-worlds are currently quite profitable. And Racket wins it for 20,000. Now
and
that's...
still it's very cheap.
Yeah, it is cheap. Or his faction is definitely the worst out of these to go off-road with. I think I would have bid more than 20,000 if I were one of the other players.
If anyone is looking forward to building off-road soon, they should be buying this steel. 67 is pretty cheap for steel until everyone builds their off-road.
Yeah. In particular, you should also buy electronics. $60 for electronics is the cheapest you will basically ever see. Colony is expanding now, and it's now consuming some chemicals and a little tiny amount of glass. So we'll probably see some of these prices rising. Let's see, we have a lot of mutinies this game. They're already cost more than goons. I think if you're worried about mutinies, a goon is a very good defense against mutinies in particular.
Thankfully, Raquet just won the Thinking Machines auction, so did not need to worry about getting it stolen for 2 minutes, only 1 minute.
Yeah. So Raquet is unfortunately, even though he made a lot of power money, he seems to be spending that money on patents instead of upgrading his HQ. I think you'd want to upgrade here because it's pretty cheap and you can use the claims to make even more money. Pleasure domes are pretty strong right now. We have 2 of them up, they're making 200 each. I would, as one of these players, be looking to get the virtual reality patent right now. And Kordarus is getting it in 40 seconds. Very good for him. And they are the first to HQ5, I think. No, they're second to HQ5, but they are at least HQ5, which is nice.
Look at the offer price. Icewind can build an off-road for 26k, and one launch will produce 46k.
Yeah, nice spot there. You should definitely look into that. So the reason why it's so cheap is because the steel and the electronics and the glass are all cheap. So if he notices that, I think he will place it down. It will be a very strong play. And we have an auction for a tile at the colony, some patent adjacency, and a entertainment agency. I wouldn't mind seeing him just return this. As a nomad, you have some free claim returns. If you win an auction that you're not sure what to do with, you can just return it. Instead, he's choosing to build a second pleasure dome. And Racket secures teleportation patent, which will help him not spend so much power on transporting.
So there has been no onward prices going crazy, except for maybe fuel, which is rising due to hacks, but the effectiveness of fuel hacks is diminishing because people are also getting into fuel.
Yeah, he's now starting to help other people with his hacks. As soon as other people make made reactors, he should probably try to hack something else. And right now he's stocking game bot. And if you play with sound, you should hear a distinct warning sound for that, and you should try to secure your own stock here so you don't get majority bot. And also, one good habit you can have is to look up here at the top. You will, for example, see that you have a destroyed water pump. That's because somebody dynamited it. And basically up here you will see things that you should pay attention to. So you just click that and click repair and you will get some water again. And water is a very strong market right now. $80 for water is a lot.
Icewind is getting into 2 optimization centers. I think in this case, 2 offer would have been a better choice.
Absolutely. So the rule of thumb is if these prices are high, you go optimization centers, but they're not right now, they're actually quite low. That's when you want to go off-world or Pleasure Dome instead, or maybe Hackery. But yeah, I want to see off-world for sure. But yeah, he's buy on, he might be able to finish it, we'll see. It's majority buyout on Kordarus. Because while getting bought here, Kordarus actually committed to building an off-world market at the colony. That might prevent him from defending himself.
I think they're fine.
Yeah. So what you do if you're really worried is you hover over your name here. You will see that you have 24,000 in cash plus resources. That means if you sell everything you have, including cancelling launch, that's how much you have. And that's how much you need to defend yourself. So as long as he pays attention here, he should be able to defend.
And this double Pleasure Dome is earning $500 per second in combined, so they will have enough, but...
Please! Okay, so you need to sell fuel, you need to sell oxygen, and if that's not enough, you also need to cancel the launch.
No.
Okay. Oh. He manages to defend himself. And I think...
It would have been very odd if the majority buyout worked.
Yeah, it would have been put Icewind in a very strong position. Right now though, Kordarus is still alone in the off-worlds and he has the two very nice splash domes, so I quite like their position here.
A robotics HQ has been upgraded. Look at all the money.
And yeah, so we pointed out the problem with this found might be the silicon, but nobody has nuked them. So that's really good for Kordarus.
Second off-world market is going up for Kordarus. I still want to see an offer from other expensive players and even robotics.
Yeah. Yeah, it's even cheaper for the expensives than for the Nomad, who has to... Kawaii places down one now. Also at the colony. So colony here is a bit risky because there are dynamites on the market. And if it does get dynamited, you will have to send up this very slow repair ship. Which takes a long time. And then you have to spend a long time repairing it and then you can use it again. So we'll see
if the opponent is trying to be evil, they can throw magnetic storm on the repair ship and shut down the offer for a very, very long time.
Yeah, that's an evil play. For sure. So, okay, this is interesting too. Icewind has 60% of the buy to Kordarus, but he chooses to use the money right now to go into double off-world. Now, double off-world is what we've been asking for a long time, but we would like to see it a few minutes ago, basically. It's a bit late, but it might still work out for him.
Off-world is not very expensive to build.
Yeah, that's a good part.
It's a nominal price right now.
So all these off-worlds getting built means that glass is now a pretty good market. I say it's the best one on world. So you should definitely look to be in glass. It's these players. And only Kawaii is currently in 2 glass skins. And so this claims values are based on how much what the prices on the world are. And I think with these low prices a claim is not worth 56,000. And so Racket, after winning that auction, he also pays down the debt he just got. So it's like he's paying 56,000 in cash. And I don't think that's a valuable investment, because that claim will not make that money back.
If I were Kordarus, I would be buying into Icewind because I wouldn't think that Icewind is going to pull out of the 5 stocks in them, and also should be attacking Icewind's exposed off-roads because it's now a race between the two. Who earns the faster?
Yes, absolutely. So 1 EMP here would prevent like almost 100,000. 1 mutiny would give you 110,000. A dynamite will also prevent and force him to spend more glass and electronics. There are a lot of nice choices here to attack. Icewind. Instead, he chooses to mutiny Kawaii's offroad. That is nice in a way because it lets you profit more, but you also want to hurt your enemy, who is close to buying you out 53%.
That's a little bit understandable if they were worried about bouncing mutiny on Icewind's off-road.
Yeah, one issue here is you don't know where the goons are because there are no spies.
So in that case, an EMP could be very helpful for figuring out where the goon is.
Yes.
Like this.
If every tile affected by the EMP will you will see if there was a goon on any of those tiles. So you can use that to spot where the goons are. And now we see a dynamite from Kordarus, I really like that. And then followed up with an EMP from Racket. So all three players are hitting Icewind right now. But he's still pretty close to the buy, and we'll see if this black market is enough.
Actually, what Icewind can do is selling out of their 2 stocks.
Yeah, I like that. So he has like 70,000 or something. It's hard to say exactly. That he will get if he sells out. He will get 37 for the first sellout and then less for the second one. So somewhere around 65, 70,000. And that's pretty much what he needs. And that, of course, allows him to finish the buy faster, which makes the subsidiary make money for him faster. So I really like that play.
But if Kordarus starts buying into Icewind, it can change the equation a little bit because of those stock price rises.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kordarus should definitely start doing that. He has a lot of money now. And he buys Kawaii. That's interesting. So yeah, it's still a nice sub. He had one offer going at the colony. But the threat is still there from Icewind. Icewind still owns all your stock, and you still have to like be afraid of him buying out. So I'm not sure I agree with that. I would have liked to see him go into Icewind instead.
Despite the suboptimal stock exchanges, Kordarus, I think, still has a chance of winning this race. With enough black market attacks on these farms and probably an EMP on the offer market that is being repaired because it also touches the chemical refineries and farms a little bit, and another offer too.
Yeah. If you hold the X key, you have a nice overlook of where your opponent is earning their money. And an EMP here would just shut down a lot of production. So Icewind has 76% of the buy, and I think he's gonna get there. And when he does, he acquires all of Kordarus stock, so we'll also get the benefit of the 8 stocks in Kawaii. If Icewind gets this buy, he will win the game. Meanwhile, Power has spiked a lot, and Racket is making some power money from that, but I think he's a bit too far behind to still have an impact on the duel here. Okay, this is a nice delay play, but Icewind is making too much money, and he will be able to finish his buy. Or, well, he had 100% for a few seconds, but then Kordarus started buying into Racket. However, this will pretty much only delay the inevitable, so I don't think this will save Kordarus, but we will see. Nothing strange can happen. And we have a Pleasure Dome auction, and there are already a lot of Pleasure Domes here. We'll see if people are interested. And the value of a claim right now can be pretty high. We see the solar panels, 500. Reactor is 300. And we pointed out that Racket has a hard time deciding what to use his claims on, but just putting them on anything really. Like, you don't have to make 500. But as long as you make anything at all, you're ahead instead of preparing for unexpected things to happen. And we see the off-world launch changing a bit. And Racket still has fuel queued, even though oxygen is the best launch. And what you should do when you have an offer market is occasionally just check this list, because what the most valuable launch will change during the course of the game.
Icewind has the buy on Kordarus.
Yeah, he should have a red button. There it is. And he clicks it. Alright. So as we see, he got all the stocks in Kawaii. And he is in a very big lead right now.
Kordarus had a good chance of winning the race if they did not get into Kawaii and focused on taking down Icewind.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was the main mistake from Kordarus. If somebody's attacking you and they're making money, they will be able to buy you eventually, and you have to buy them first. That's the...
Usually it's a rule of thumb to buy into the person who is buying into you.
Yeah.
Launch affirmative. What a payout.
So the end of this game is quite different from the start. Remember, early and mid-game all these prices were low, but now all of them are very high. And I think that's because a lot of people neglected optimizations. Oh, although, yeah, actually Icewind has a lot of them. So Icewind is set to make money from basically all his tiles in very high numbers. And yeah, we pointed out this out before, but in this particular case, when it's a tournament based on tiebreakers, definitely want to sell out your stock to finish the buy earlier. Could make a difference between game 1 and 2. Group A and Group B in the end.
Off-world shipment launched. Look at all the money.
Alright, he gets the red button and he takes it. Congratulations to Icewind. Well played.
Congratulations.
And I want to point out, I quite like that found, actually. You had the water and aluminum. And pretty close iron, like close enough. However, there was weakness in this iron being able to be nuked, but nobody took advantage of that. But yeah, I would probably rate this found among one of the best, and he made it work, so well played. Let's take a look at some charts and graphs. We see Kordarus making a lot of money on the off-world market, 930,000. And he made, yeah, not as much as Peasant last game, but a very nice amount of entertainment. However, maybe these third and fourth pleasure domes that he built after buying Kawaii were not so efficient, because they also, for every pleasure dome you build, the other ones are reduced in revenue. And I think this is part of why Power spiked at the end. He built the third and the fourth pleasure dome. You might want to avoid that.
I think 3 is a bit excessive.
Yeah.
Even with the virtual reality, it has diminishing returns, but flat increase in power consumption.
Yeah. Alright. We could have pointed out that there were cooked books. Nobody used them. But I'm not sure. Nobody really had a lot of debt issues this game.
One person did have some debt issues. Kawaii interest charges were 124k.
Oh, I guess I didn't notice that. Yeah, so if you're seeing yourself in B or C, or Yeah, that's usually when you want to look down here. You can buy this item and you will save a lot of money when the interest rate comes. You will still have a low stock price, but just not getting the interest, you will stay alive a lot better. So if you find yourself in this situation, definitely look down here and click this a few times. A lot of people saw Kordarus and Icewind as the leaders, and they used the black market appropriately, I think. That's always nice to see. And Kordarus, I think he felt he was the leader because he bought 6 goon squads. He was very afraid to be hit. And yeah, I think if he improves his stock play a little bit, he would have won this game. So, alright, let's see, how are the other groups doing?